and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a gold Lee Sin with a gold Agurin wannabe Kha'Zix. Gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be funny at least. Showcasing, we've looked at some mid to low gold games so far, but what about mid to high gold? What changes? What allows you to get platinum? What separates you from silver? What joins you to silver? Should be an interesting game, I think. Obviously, I try to pick games that have teachable moments, not always taking people at the peak of their domination, right? Like if you're doing a coaching session with me and you send a VOD, I don't want to see a game where you have 25 kills and make like 2 mistakes, because basically the advice is going to be, hey, don't make those mistakes and be consistent, and it's like, that'll be your bill, please. No, we want as much information as possible from a VOD as from a coaching session. We want to deconstruct your jungling, analyze it to its core, and really bring out your strengths, amplify them, fix your weaknesses, fortify them, so that you can carry, win, and climb to platinum and gold. To diamond, not to gold. If you're low, elo to gold, but if you're gold to diamond, I'm going to leave that in because it's funny. That being said, we are obviously at least in new meta level 3 gankings. We have a support Maokai. That is possible. Shoving on the mid wave, Echo versus a Pantheon. Echo gets stunned. The Pantheon goes in too soon. Straight up goes in way too soon. You gotta wait for your jungler to show up. The Lee Sin overcommits to burn the flash. If my laner makes this commitment here, I'm not going all into that degree. I want to see a bit more patience from the laner. Say, listen, hey, I'm not wasting my flash for this. Especially, I'm not wasting a ward and a flash and telegraphing where I'm going to be. Because if Echo starts on the bottom side and gets leashed, which she did, and he's now sequencing upside, and Echo can obviously full clear, we are giving away everything for flash and an Echo. Melee lane versus melee lane, whereby Pantheon can always hit that stun again. You can always loop back, repeat, and come again. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting. We're going to deconstruct it right after this Virkayu.gg promotion. Virkayu.gg's comprehensive courses will give you all of the up-to-date information you need to climb on your MMR. This is all in addition to our powerful one-on-one coaching and access to the coaching VOD library. And for those of you who want to escape the elo that you're in, because obviously, let's face it, you want the next step, the Jungle Improvement PDF has been released on my site for absolute free. 37 pages of jungle terminology, exercises, and tips to help you carry, win, and climb, take your potential and convert it into reality. So I hope to see a lot of you signing up for coaching in the courses. It should be pretty juicy. Now we do have this is the same thing that happened. Where was this? Where did this happen? Main channel video. It was my game. That's right. It was against the 250 LP Silas. The guy does this, right? I'm doing my red side. I'm Zyra jungle of all things. I'm just doing my red side, planning to cut in, react to what the Silas does cheese-wise. Guy does a red Raptors level 2 gank. Yeah? Then he uses flash, doesn't get anything, then walks this way within minion range and goes to this. So what's a good jungler doing? Like, what are you doing here? Well, what did I do? I said, okay, scan, walk across. Hey, look, this plant is gone. All right, you're Silas, so you're low. I'm gonna kill you. Take your blue. Hey, you look, my top lane is pushing in, and I'm gonna dive and kill the Cassante. And I got out. That was it. Where's the Silas going next if he thinks I took everything? Well, I'm going to leave the scuttle because who cares about the scuttle? I know he's going bottom side to try and get that scuttle. So I'm going to go back to base right now, cut in, counter gank him, take the scuttle, gank mid lane, gank this scuttle, gank top lane again. Then I can reloop. That's what I did. And it worked very well. Now the Lee Sin is telegraphing where he's going to be. He knows where Echo is going to be. Excuse me. I'm not talking about Echo. I'm talking about the Kha'Zix. The Kha'Zix is going to be. The Kha'Zix is going to be on his red, getting a little bit low. Why? Because it's Kha'Zix. He struggles more with the AoE camps. The full clear is not his forte. Can we kill a Kha'Zix 1v1 here as Lee Sin? As a buffed Lee Sin, if I am platinum bound, diamond bound, I probably try to make the play. Now that being said, that's a skill issue, not a mathematical issue. Like most people would say, look, I don't want to go ISO Kha'Zix, in this particular case. So I'm saying, well, if I'm Volibear, I'm definitely making this play. If I'm Warwick, I'm definitely making this play. Like, this is a dead Kha'Zix because I know he starts here, goes up here, I can cut in and invade, and then I can dive top lane. Maybe. Otherwise, at least I can go down to here, repeat gank this one. I know he's come down here. I can counter gank him, gank bottom lane, and then loop back. Don't care about the blue side unless I really have to take it. So I think if you're in gold and none of that made sense, replay it in your mind because it does make sense. It's about leveraging your map position and tempo to gain advantages over the enemy jungler to deny them the ability to play the game. That's step 1 early game. Yes, it's to impact lanes, but step 1, impact the lane. Step 2, try this. Now Pantheon is chunky and getting low. Oh, this is a free kill for the Kha'Zix, is it not? Does the Kha'Zix... He don't got its minimap active. No, he does not. No, he does not. But now my top lane is pushing. He's getting low. He gets hit by the E from the Scion. He's just going to walk at him. He's going to hit this Q here. He does get the slow, but the Jace still has his flash. Good discipline. But again, the Kha'Zix was right here. He had to wait a little bit. Lane is... Bit of patience, please. Bit of patience. Because we had 2 free kills. Now the Lee Sin shows up. He's level 4 thanks to the absorption on the mid lane. Now the Kha'Zix is going, hey, what's up? Can I come in here? That Q misses. Waffling on the gank. Can't go for this. Because he's afraid of the 1v1. And that's my point. The Kha'Zix is afraid of this 1v1, so he goes for the laner gank instead and says, I don't want to do that because that goes in base. If you know you win the 1v1, or you think you win the 1v1 and they don't think they win the 1v1, you win. Mental gap. That's why PTA is so good, even in this elo, because that burst proc, that upfront damage, even if you blow your load up front and that DPS is going to slow down, they don't think about that. They just think, oh shit, I lost half my HP. I better bounce. They don't think they can stick with it. That's where champion knowledge comes in. But either way, red side, gank, fall back to blue side. You know, I like the idea here. We obviously don't have bottom lane prio, but they're super, super low. We want to F-key this. We want to watch this. We want to go, bottom lane, ADC, ADC. And we celebrate them and we cheerlead them on. Everyone's excited that a bottom lane coin flipped with no jungle interaction. Next up, we have a ward here. If you're Lee Sin, it sucks. But ideally, we want to slap that sucker on the grump because we know the Kha'Zix is going to reset and come on down. So we should hit this to see, where is he? Is he already in the vicinity? Or is he still hanging on top lane, dawdling around with his grasshopper bits? A little naughty, isn't it? So we would hit it and we would see, probably just about nothing, which is a small bit of unluckiness, but that's fine. I just want to see, I just want to know. That's how we deal with randomness, visual confirm. Either way, it's okay not to. I just want to deny that plum because now, if we have wards down here, right, and he comes down and hits this and clears it, we lose a bit of that vision. Yes, the trinket buff is nice, but we lose a little bit of that vision, right? So jungle in gold, as you're trying to get to platinum, as you're trying to get to diamond, that's when we start to really think about these in-depth concepts, how they stitch together, how we match up well, and how we ignore vision power. I think walk straight across the skull crab, show 28 CS, so Lee Sin presses tab, left hand, and he kind of goes, full clear, it's 24, didn't get a scuttle. I did both scuttles, right. So he went back to basic, got 2 long swords. He has 28, which means he probably did his grump, and his wolves are available. Well done, Trekker. You are extremely good at the game. And now he's going to the mid lane. And we're looking at this wave, and we're like, okay, he's got a little bit of the zoning potential there, because like, haha, my tricks. You will fall for them. I don't know how you fall for that. So like, Echo always does this. Oh my goodness gracious, we're missing the goodness. So I wish the map would flash red. I could select Lee Sin. If he has attacked, flash red so I can see him, press spacebar. So obviously don't watch the TV. So here we see the Kha'Zix go this way. The problem is obviously we have the Annie trying this as well. So the Kha'Zix has recognized, listen up. I saw you, Lee Sin. I know you didn't do wolves. I know you're going to bottom scuttle because you ran across mid lane. I know you took that scuttle because I walked across the vision and you saw me. But what you didn't do was hit the plant to deny. What you didn't do was hit this plant to maybe see if I'm still there afterwards. Obviously, in this case, it doesn't make sense because we went to Krugs. I think if I can rewind it to try and be honest about my tendencies, you know, once I've done this and I see this, I want to see what's going on, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's very, very important that I understand where people are going, because I probably think extrapolation. What are the 2 outcomes possible here? I see him, he did his grump, 3 outcomes actually. Does the sucker loop back to his wolves and do silver spaghetti power thing? No, because he's not silver anymore, we're gold, we don't do these things. We think, can we go into a gank here? Pantheon, level 4 Echo, no flash, no TP. But I know Lee Sin did this. And what do I always talk about here? Doing the quick 6 clear, which means we full clear, 6 camps. We can throw in a gank in between. Obviously, in this case, the Lee Sin didn't do the wolves, but he got 2 scuttles, so he still got those camps. But instead of basing after the scuttle, we use the second respawn of Krugs and Raptors. Why do we do this? To deny possible counter jungling from someone who got double scuttle, because he will anticipate, hey, look, all the bottom lanes are back, fisted, done, retired, you know, buying their items. Lee Sin, if he goes back to base now, can just snack these Raptors. Because he most likely will think about coming back to this quadrant, waste of time. Why don't I just, as Lee Sin, say, okay, look, you know what, this is up, this is going to be up very, very shortly. Why don't I just go ahead and, you know, do him? Sounds good to me. And of course, if the Kha'Zix shows up, we can kite out, we can back. Another problem is, as soon as he walks across you, he's telegraphing what he's doing. So if you miss this information gathering process, you know, the Lee Sin thought about it. He thought about it. It's like, well, is he going to gank this wave, go to the wolves and come and invade me? Because the Annie died, because they died, this bottom lane, they have tempo roam advantage. So you can say, well, hey, look, my bottom lane coin flipped and killed them. Great, but my bottom lane then, after killing them, pushed the wave out, then went back to base, but they spawned first, which means they're first on the map. They have roam tempo. But Maokai should be thinking about counter-ganking this mid lane, something I would always do as support because I split my time there. Here, as soon as I see a telegraph, and this is my off-meta nature, I want to hit this sucker. Where are you, sir? And once you see him, he sees that you see him, and he goes, so right, we'd walk up to this, we hit it, we see him, now we can disengage, right? We can leave the scenario, because the Annie at this point is running across mid lane. And actually, really nice wall hugging, really nice pathing by the Annie. Better pathing than you see from most junglers, even in Diamond. Honestly, you guys saw the Diamond coaching, right? It was lazy. Nice cut, looking at the wave, shoved in, said, haha. And now this is a very good opportunity to invade the Lee Sin. So here we should have just damn well hit the plan, said, I see you, Kha'Zix. Piss off, please. Footsec, as we say in South Africa. And go take your wolves. I'm not interested in what you're selling, sir. And then you go back and you take your raptors if you want. And if there's a gank going on here, you can counter gank it. Now, Maokai is a downside here, but hopefully you understand this. Because in gold, this is when we start to think about these cool things. That's when jungle gets interesting. So silver plays is what you got to look forward to, and if you do this in silver, you'll win every game. So of course now the Annie is the coin flip, and I admit that the Annie is the coin flip, but let's just see whereby, sorry to do this, I just want to see, like, if we hit the plant now, ooh, would we see her? Would we actually see that far? I don't know, I don't really hit the, I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever hit the Scry's Bloom in this exact angle to test the range, honestly, I don't know. We should hit her, no? What do you guys think? Oof, like we'd see the blue, so... Whoa, we might see her. We might. I don't want to results base it and say you'd see her, but let's assume we don't. But like we could do, right? If she was a little bit farther, we could see her. We'd see everything and we'd know. And then Maokai could react to it. Really cool stuff. Really subtle little sort of extrapolation anticipation. Like we're pinging it, but the Lee Sin isn't thinking about. You see the pings, right? We're pinging the pings. All the pings are being pinged. Hey, Kha'Zix is arriving. He's showing up. We don't think about the fact, like he's not even reacting. He's looking at the middle. He was doing what I was doing, except obviously I'm not in game. In game, I wouldn't be doing that. Annie with the flash stun over the wall with the E auto passive gets stunned on the tower. He will die for the sin, but at the same time, he's Gary Popper. Assassinator. And 1-2-0 for him is thumbs up. Obviously, he died like level 1. It's not really an issue. The Lee Sin got an extra pot. Like it's not something we're going to talk about. But look at the Maokai. So you can see here the tendency, right? You can see here the behavior of the universe. Boom! Nicely done. Okay, good job. So you see here your bottom lane immediately says, I'm reacting, right? Like we're showing up. Kai says like an actual good ADC and says, I don't care about the CS, I get a kill here. This is juicy, let's go for it. And the Lee Sin obviously dies and now has to come out of base and you go to Wolves and Grump. He's feeling safe, he's feeling controlled. So the difference between the Kha'Zix and the Lee Sin is that the Lee Sin isn't thinking about invading, aggressive, denial. The Kha'Zix was immediately thinking, tracking, where's the Lee Sin? If he's back to base, I get free Raptors and then gank mid lane. If he's not back to base, I get free invade. Annie, I'll join you on this adventure. That sounds fun. Good pathing, well executed, beautiful. This is when we start to get into the better echelons of the game, right? Lee Sin in the meantime leaves base, does wolves, doesn't actually do Grump, excuse me. He sees the gank on the top lane. Nice little rotational power there. Unfortunately, we don't get anything because Jace took care of the business, but it's fine to kind of shadow. We can clear the ward. Where's Kha'Zix now? See, this is the question. Kha'Zix dies. Does he go? Yeah, we see him here. Oh. He's making me look bad. It's because I praised him too much. I said, you are being a hunter. I like it. Honestly, what is this nonsense? He's very clearly not in that bush. He's very clearly gone. What are you doing? Unbelievable. He's invading the Lee Sin on the Grump, though. We're probably looking for this. Maybe he's got the Annie rotating too, so like we could be outnumbered in the Scuttle Crab arena. Hit the plant, hit the plant, hit the plant. Thank you. Although, is that the place where we're going to hit the plant? Should be okay. Should be fine. Should be fine. So in this particular case, the Kha'Zix, it's quite interesting. I'm really curious of what he actually did here. Can I actually look at his pathing here? Hold up. This is so random a little bit. So he dies and he's got two options, right? He can go to the Krugs, Raptors, and cut in. You can go to the Raptors, Krugs, and cut top lane, which is stupid. Don't do that because you're pathing away from where everything else is going to be. You could go bottom side to go Wolves, Raptors, Krugs to cut a 3-camp sequence and then gank top lane. Especially if you want to, get level 6s that evolve as soon as possible. But he decides to go Krugs, flex the counter gank top lane, knowing Lee Sin's going to be here. So this is good again. I like where the mind is at, because we know that the Lee Sin leaving base, will be going to Wolves Gromp because all of his bottom camps are down, because we saw him there. We know he took them because we killed him. So we see this 1v1 fisting on the top lane. Twins D slays Basement Child. But the accents make it a little bit, the umlauts make it a little weird. German. So basically, he shows up, does the Krugs. We know Jace is gone. Waits for the Lee Sin despite having numbers advantage and itemization advantage. Goes back to base. That's what's like. Surely you just fall back down and do your Raptors and keep sequencing. Like, why would you go back to base here at all with 200 gold in pocket? It's an absolute waste of time. I know it's kind of spaghetti, but like this to here is better than 8 seconds here, 20 seconds down here, right? So like it's kind of dumb. And RNG Scuttle. So we missed the opportunity with the Annie to kind of do the Raptors and kite into the top scuttle. Unlucky, unfortunate, missed opportunities. Lee Sin's now hovering. It's the roaming Annie. We saw her very tightly here. Hopefully other people saw her. So he goes back to base. He gets a Ruby Crystal. As I said, he's doing a Gurren stuff, which is not what I like. I would drag this into the bush because the tendency of the Kha'Zix is to invade me, to think about what I'm doing. The Kha'Zix shows up here. We get a Vove. He goes over the wall into this raptor, into this dragon pit. He figures, hey, their bottom lane is base. They're fed. I have a bit of time to do this. Lee Sin's like, you know what? I'm not even thinking about this. He has Lee Sin. Could we force this? Kaisa doesn't have ult though. She should be close-ish, right? Like, yeah, she's close to 6. We do have 7 here plus ult. Do I want to coin flip it if Annie's there? I mean, he's basing. I mean, we do technically have the ability to force a fight here. That's a good fight because we got almost 3k gold lead as a team. Would I do it? Would you do it? What do you think, guys? What do you think in chat? Comments. Would you contest this? Now, I don't know if you're Silver, you're probably saying yes. I want you to think about it a little bit because it's okay to give things up here and cut into this, and this, or this, and this, right? You've got a winning Jace. So basically what I see is, okay, look, I can easily say, look, this is gone, all right? I see the Annie going there. I see the Kha'Zix is there. I know the Jhin has a bit of prior right now. Will my bottom lane rotate? I figured they have the tendency to do so, but he has 6 and they don't. That they're pretty damn close. You could either decide numbers-wise, do I coin flip, or do I just basically say, no, I'm taking this into the dive top lane, or I'm taking this into the dive top lane into this. You got a few options on the top side. You got top dive, herald, plus counter jungling. All 3. We want to accomplish all 3. You have to decide how you want to play it. I'm happy to give my bottom lane up for a little bit of a juicy dive. If he shows, I take everything, right? So nice equal and opposite. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Let's see what happens. He does actually go for it. He does actually force the fight, but the problem is, as I said, you have to bait the fight well. The Echo cancels his base. We should all leave now. Very clearly, we're out of position here. Very good. And now they're rotating, but we don't have the 6. See, now I'm uncomfortable with this. Now I'm uncomfortable with this coin flip. Like, I don't think we should go in to try and steal it, because if we die, it's not worth it. We don't actually get it. The Kha'Zix goes back in. He's giving us a freebie, I think. Yes, he is giving us a freebie. Oh, the W misses from the Kaisa. The Kha'Zix goes over the wall. The Lee Sin is being kited out. The Kaisa is going the back line. The Pantheon should be able to kill the Kha'Zix. Maybe stick to your teammates, gets the double kill. Lee Sin's like, I'm running away. Maokai's like, I'm taking on the Jhin. So it does work out, but the Kha'Zix gave us that freebie because the Echo rotated to disengage the first part of the fight. And then what happened was the Kha'Zix was like, I am assassin. And you saw the rest. So it worked out as predicted from the pros and cons side of the team fight. They played it very, very well-ish. The Echo did rotate-ish, and then the Pantheon cut back in again. So we leveraged our bottom lane advantage, maximum plates. We like this. That's good. And as I said, there's pros and cons to this. Please save your Lee Sin. He is helping you. Kha'Zix is now 1-3-0. We're going to take this turret, but by taking this turret, I don't like this. I don't like this. I think we should reset and then immediately beeline it for top lane because we know Annie will be roaming again. We know Kha'Zix is going to try and equal and opposite. We got Dragon Tower. He's going to try and herald. The Jace has a lead over the Scion. And we have Pantheon still with his ultimate. So we can easily cut this denial. Elevating the game state right now I think is a mistake. Because our bottom lane doesn't want to shove it into a position whereby they're going to keep pushing up. And now they get ganked 1,000 times by the Echo, by the Annie, by the Kha'Zix, by the Jhin. They just keep getting ganked by themselves. Gank banged, if you will. And you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm down for this. I would have preferred to see this laning phase go on a little bit longer so that we could actually take this. But, you know, again, gold, the Kha'Zix isn't thinking about sneaking away that Herald. He should have. He should have gone straight for the Herald with Annie, immediately taken it. That is now gone. We've gotten the RNG Scuttle as well. Excuse me, flashy plays, Lee Singer. All right, Echo uses his ult. We react to this. This is great. So, like, Kha'Zix is getting this right now. Free objective, free Herald, everything. We're going to go in here. Yes, sir. Nice E-flash combo. And of course, now we're going to go for the wall here. Straight into Kha'Zix. He says, "Oh, what up, bro?" And he gives us a little bit of a kill. He said, it's always a downside. Remember, when you make these kinds of plays, where is the enemy going to be next? Top side, because we just killed him bot side. There's no dragon. He's most likely going to be top side heavy. RG Scuttle, Herald, my blue side, his red side, top lane. He's got a lot to play for on the top side. Why would he go down? Right? Just ask that question. Why would he go top lane? What is there for him to take? If they go the other side, then you get freebies, right? So that's always the way to deal with randomness. So that means when you do this play, go down. Don't go up. Kha'Zix is most likely up. I would anticipate he's doing Herald, actually. He's not. So we're a bit unlucky, but even so, if you think he's doing the Herald would have dinged dead by the time we did this, so we could have gone down. Important to note. Now, obviously, Kha'Zix is going to go over the wall here and hold this juicy wave and then overcommit. Oh, well, I thought he was going to overcommit. He didn't. Very good, but the Lee Sin again, 2-2-3. So, not so bad overall. Kha'Zix sequencing down, giving up the Scuttle, giving up the RNG Herald. Lee Sin says, I don't like the outside rules, so I'm going to do Wolves and my blue, my Grump first, for some strange particular reason, which means we might open it up for Kha'Zix to rotate and kill us, when we should have just done the Crab and the Herald, and instead we're going to go and kill first Hunger mode. We're going to get the kick down to the side, he's like, cowards, and he runs away. Kha'Zix now is coming out of base again, having gone top to bottom. We see him go top to bottom. He rotates. See, this is the problem. A bottom lane hit the tower. They took everything. Now they're just going to go to the mid lane. They're going to suffocate your own mid lane from his own experience. You're sharing XP now. You're not maximizing your time in the lane to get everyone as fed as possible. I want my bottom lane to keep their lead to zone, to deny, while I can then get my mid lane further ahead and really snowball my ace. I don't want to see moving pieces at 11 minutes in this elo, because they're not going to leverage it properly for gold advantage and for wins. And now because we don't do the outside in rule with Scuttle and Herald, and we only take this side of the map, right? That's my only reaction to it. Now obviously they're going to turn in onto the Kha'Zix, but it is an Annie. It is a support Annie. Taboos! And we get the smite. One more bonkings. Very, very good. We have our ultimate repositioning. E is obviously down. It's a very high cooldown ability, so you should remember that one. Here again, like this RG Scuttle is just sitting here for 10,000 years, man. Like the last time that Scuttle spawned before human beings were farming. Honestly. Well, then it would have been like, what, 12,000? 13,000 years ago before Neolithic? Excuse me. It's been a while since I stared at the timeline. As much as I like ancient history. Now the Echo pushes on the mid lane here, and we're just floating from side to side. It's not terror bad, you know, but it's not terror good either. It's just terror whatever. And so what happens is now we, with our team, are rotating. Kai'Sa dies. Kha'Zix gets a 2-3-1. We have a Jace collapsing in on the Echo, who does as predicted, but we do get the knockback regardless. He has the ghosties. He gets CC'd. We get the kill. Please take the Herald. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very good. All right, we take the RNG Scuttle. Now we can use this for plates. Do we have time? We have time, which means, yeah, okay. So we're lucky this game where we can get every plate, basically. But I would have preferred to maybe just, yeah, let me think. He wants to push tier 2. Okay, so we're pushing the map. Let me see. I don't like using first Herald like this because I think everyone wants to reset now. You see, like he wants to reset. They want to reset no mana. You know, he's here. They're coming out of base. We're trading it for a dragon. So in this particular regard, if you look at this Herald snack, we snack it, right? What's a better move here? We know that this is spawning. It's 1325. Kai'Sa is getting free plates here. We don't need to go up and use it here because our team can go ahead and do that. You know, we could just keep the Herald because we got all the plates anyway and recall. It's a unique situation. Normally you would actually really want to use a Herald here, but actually I'd want to use it here. So if this was like 4 plates, 3 plates, I'm going mid lane with Kai'Sa, activating it. I'm currently sitting on 1100 gold. It's not that much gold whereby I need to stay out further. Sorry, I need to go back to base. I could just take this, use the Herald, take the tower with Kai'Sa, collapse on the dragon, leave them to play, right, on their love island. It doesn't really matter. It's a reality TV show. I don't like that we used all of our resources to go up here and hit something that could have been taken anyway, instead of going back to base with empowered recall, buying, rotating direct, or just going straight mid lane, killing the tower, shoving the wave to get more vision line advantage, and then going back down here and killing whoever's out of position. Because we didn't have that much gold in pocket, it's not like we're playing with such a huge disadvantage. And again, Kai'Sa has Kraken, she says 3-1-3, she's only got 7-3-5 in pocket. You know, this is something we can definitely do, and obviously with Maokai with us. You follow? You follow. This is like the ultimate gold tracking and pathing macro synopsis, I think. It's pretty good. The course will basically not be like this, but it will be basically this times 10, times 100 in terms of like everything you need for goal optimization. So what I'm trying to do with the courses, it's quite tough, but we give them a free dragon because of it. We activate the Herald and we get nothing for it. Like we get one charge. It's absolutely piss useless versus getting like one turret plus a charge on this, plus a fallback, plus kills, plus the dragon, plus, right? We just chose to go plus and the Kha'Zix got a plus. So it cancels out. 1 plus, 1 minus. Ideally, we always want 2 plus for 1 minus or 3 plus or 4 plus. You always want to make sure you're getting more than the enemy jungler is. Even equal and opposite. Hey, he's diving bottom lane, taking dragon. I'm going to take Herald and dive bot lane, but with the Herald, I'll get plates, counter jungle, and I'll kill the top laner. There's equal and opposite, and then some. That's always the idea, right? At the very least, equal and opposite means that if they have the lead, you know, if they're this far ahead and we're here, and they go do this play, as long as I'm doing an equal play, the gap stays the same, and the more the game goes on, the less meaningful this gap means in terms of golden experience. So if I can do equal and opposite and greater, then I'm gap closing. Even though they do this jump, I do this jump plus more, and it gets even closer, right? So it's always trying to leverage those things together. Really, really nice. Now we missed the Q on the minions because, hey, gotta make them think we're bad. We missed that one too, because it's not because we're bad, it's just because we need to. Then we just overcommit on a turret that should really be dead. Kha'Zix is obviously going Giga Agurin build, and again, Giga Agurin build. It's a good name. Someone take that name quickly. Giga, and use the last A for Agurin, and then be a Kha'Zix one trick. And then just build Frozen Heart Gore Drinker Kha'Zix Puma. Please, no one play that in solo queue, man. Like if it's not Agurin himself, please don't. I don't want to see that shit. It's only good on like one person in the entire universe. One tricks in their mains. So in the meantime, you see what's happened though? The Kha'Zix now has experience advantage. And people are they're gonna say things like, oh, look at the experience in jungle. No. He's taken minions, 75% reduced. And that cap doesn't end, as Flores recently explained. He's not been farming a lot in terms of what the advantage he could have had. And he's been sharing experience with everybody. Kha'Zix has been getting ISO experience from camps. Huge difference when you look at CS. Like if your CS is all in jungle, yes, there is an experience problem in the jungle, I do admit this, but not in this case. Kha'Zix looking for the flankings here from the assassinations. We are now kiting backwards. We do have their whole team mid lane. Annie is dangerous with the flash R when it's available. What is the timer on that one? 57 seconds, so we don't have it. Tries to go in here. Lee Sin throws a Q. He's pushing this. Jin shows up. A little bit of loitering. Nothing of interest. Echo's also trying to flank. And he's going back to base. At this point, we have 1,000 in pocket again. We're going for the assassinations on the Echo. Do we have one more? Excuse me, I'm on the Annie here. His Q's a little bit wonky, though, aren't they? I mean, does he overcommit there for like an execute, you think? Like, can he kill him before the ult gets activated? He had flash, smite, kick. That's what I'm thinking. He had flash, smite, kick. Also, he had the new empowered slow plus higher base damage. Total AD. You know what I mean? Could have maybe used something like that, and he's maxing W second. So that max range E is going to be super good. Right. Kha'Zix is going QW. Obviously, we have the W evolve. That is absolutely standard stuff. I think the 90% ISO slow for picks is so good. Now, there's a dragon spawning. Kai'Sa's out of position. We've gone back to farming. For some strange reason, she's dying. That's why we don't put our power into the ADCs. And that's why we play the way I've been explaining so that this doesn't happen. Because we just kind of coin flip and zone. Also, like, we could just push and then take all. You know, like, keep that pressure up. So from this, obviously, we're going to lose the dragon. Lee Sin's not just farming and pushing. Kha'Zix is 3-4-1. We have a 20 CS lead. Apparently, they don't want to contest this, and they give it to us for free, so we don't lose a dragon. Kha'Zix, Kai'Sa is mid lane. Kha'Zix is going for Herald. Do we contest this and fight this? Nope, we go for the mid lane fight. Echo goes for a nice flank over the wall. He finally hits one. We're out of position. Kai'Sa dies. Maokai's in the wrong position. Pantheon's in base. We're going way too deep for that particular play. We should have just been looking at the map and saying, hey, we only have 2 people. When you have 2 people, you don't go for these plays. Don't push up when you only have 2 people. Jace rotates here. Can we get a cleanup? Healer's burned. Not quite. Do we have safeguard? We do have safeguard, so we can use it as necessary. Watching the Kha'Zix hitting the W. Q does hit on the wrong target. Oh, we force the flash out. Uh-oh. Respace. Oh, you're gonna be isolated, my friend. Oh, we get the kick into the Maokai, but I don't think it's enough. Ooh, He should have smited. Oh, the Annie. The Annie gets the kill there. Fascinating. Leandry's on the Annie. Did the work. Okay, so just typical gold fistings. All right. My whole process here is, if I'm fed enough, this doesn't matter. I kill everybody. If not, I'm looking for the objective. Hey, Jace bot lane. TP up, sure, ping it, let them know. Pantheon base, don't push up where you don't have vision, right? Vision line is here. So if you have no vision here, don't push beyond it. You have no vision here, don't push beyond it. As soon as you do that, you're able to be picked off. So nothing happens literally for the next short while, looking at the timeline. But again, like, look at this. They're picking off the Jhin and pushing up, and the Lee Sin is now just reverted to like this AFK farming. He's not with his team at all. And it's really interesting. He's just holding top. He's down 2 levels to the Scion. They're trying to siege and do stuff. This is what Jay should be. Jay should not be here. Jay should be dealing with us. We should be with them. You know? We're not, though. I'm curious to see where the game gets lost and thrown. Is it here? Is he just forcing a fight onto the Scion? Jace isn't out of position. Jace dies bottom lane there to the Annie Kha'Zix. Maokai rotates up. We do get the kill onto the Scion, but Echo's pushing up here, so we have no Jace. Everyone's top lane. Everyone's really experience compromised. No. Ah. Hey guys, let's do Baron. With everyone but Scion up, it's 4v4 straight up. Kha'Zix can Q-smite. I cannot contest with that. I have 1600 in pocket. I don't even have 2 items. Jhin is rotating. Echo's rotating. This looks a little doomed, my friends. This looks a little doomed. Jhin ults. Kai'Sa's out of position. Flanked, killed by the assassin. Good job with the Echo. Nice flank. Very nice flank there by the assassin. Although he didn't actually get the kill in the end, but it's enough to chuck them off. Kha'Zix just takes over Judah here. He does have the beginnings of a Black Cleaver. No one can go in here. Kai'Sa does actually kill the Echo because he goes too deep. Kha'Zix, I think, is doing the right thing here. He's like, quickly, let's snack this. Quickly, snack it. Can we snack it and get out? Can we snack it and get out? Yes, we can. Lee Sin's obviously dead as well. Nah, it's a good rotation by red team. Horrific call by the blue team. No one was going to do that Baron. We just want to get this one. We've given up 2 free dragons for no reason. It's hurting them. It's hurting him, all of this stuff. But yeah, he's just been farming. Like, it's weird, right? We're talking about all this cool stuff, and then all we see him doing is holding side lanes. Like, for all we know, he's pushing the Jace out of the side lane. The side lane should be taken by the Jace, so we can actually use that. We do out of base. We do get this dragon, fortunately. Now we get into the jungle here, but their whole team is up, so why are we doing this now and not earlier? When our team isn't even here? No point. And we fall back to the Krug, so now we're detached from our team. Kai'Sa's learning. Maokai's out of position. Yeah, we're gonna go try and assassinate a Kha'Zix for some reason. This is why you don't push up the bottom lane tower too much. She's very clearly good at her champion. She's very clearly getting fed. She's very clearly able to carry this game. But she's trying to push up waves while the rest of her team's trying to farm. Because they got starved too much in the mid game instead of just leaving them bot lane and amplifying everyone else's strength so that we can just close the game by 24. What's happening is we're overcommitting. We're not in the right position. She's by herself mid lane. We're not shoving together. We're farming Krugs instead of being with her. We're getting a chunked here for no reason. So we're going out of base, into here, into here. She's like, guys, I need to do stuff. I'm the Fed ADC, let's go. Because there's nothing else for her to do at this point. She's gonna get killed by the multiple assassins. We don't have the peel on her. We're not there to disengage with our kick. Costing him everything this game. And that's the problem. He had the Fed bottom lane, and he forced his take of the tower when he should have just gone back to base, taken this early, 5-plated, and then go and take this one. Now everyone's fed. Now everyone has plates. Now he is more fed. Kha'Zix is nothing. You can all push up together. But because they were all starved and not really in the game outside of Jace and Kai'Sa, you can see like he's trying to get to certain thresholds by farming side waves and taking edge camps, but his team is ready to go. So he's compromised his win condition. Hopefully this makes sense. This happens a lot in gold. So most likely we're losing everything here. He's gonna hold this, probably get killed for it. Again, he's just split pushing. This is not a good game for split pushing. Again, no point. We force a TP from the Jace. We're 14, he's 17, Kha'Zix is 15, Kha'Zix is Warden's Mail, which is a straight counter. Maokai does show up though, so Maokai does Maokai things against the Echo. Lee Sin's gonna use a stopwatch here, Pantheon's gonna ult in and get the kill there. Lee Sin's like, can I survive? And then the Kha'Zix is like, yo bro, you can't deal with this build. I'm too goated. I am a... Well, Maokai, ladies and gentlemen, Maokai. Maokai will do ya. Problem is Kai'Sa and the Lee Sin are dead. The Jace is alive. We get that nice juicy Cyrilda slow. That was It's a little bit disgusting. So we force the fight and our team react. Now I'm not going to say, hey, look at this cool fight. That's a good idea. I don't want to see a Lee Sin level 13 split pushing with no one ready to kind of rotate in a solo queue game. Fortunately, his team does. But again, that was like a forced fight, basically saying, hey, let's just coin flip the fight and see what happens. Fortunately, it worked for him. But if you coin flip, what happens in your win-loss? 50-50, win, loss, climb down, climb down. You don't actually take over games. I overstay for the inhib, but in this case, we'll take it. All right, let's jump forward again. Kha'Zix is not holding away top side. He is 15. Lee Sin is caught up a little bit. He is almost, let's have a look here. He is 15 as well. But Echo is here. Hello, sir. Echo's down a level. Why? Like, doomed. Why are we pushing up beyond vision line when our team is not in a position to rotate? We did the same thing here. We did the same thing here. Here, in top and bot, our team was able to rotate and bail us out. No one is bailing us out here and we're dead now. We are compromising our own experience game by just being in stupid positions trying to absorb farm. Jace is able to get the kills, but then Kha'Zix shows up because we saw Kha'Zix here, so we know Kha'Zix is going to rotate and it's a short rotation and our team is not in a position. So now we're doing the silver thing, the remaining silver tendencies that will prevent us play from getting to platinum and beyond. Platinums do this too, but the Jace is a good example of a platinum who's going to do this and still take 2 with him. So that's a difference. Because he is fed. It's not always an exact science. People sometimes have old school tendencies, but you really flash, try stun a Kha'Zix to his ultimate. He did. He really did. Alright, next Baron is up. Sion is just doing the splitting. I love the Heart Steel Titanic Sunfire build. It's absolutely juicy. The only people who should be doing the full AD, there's only one in the world that should be doing that. The rest of you just build like this, build tank, have a much better time. Dominate fights. So again here, like, what am I watching here? Sion's on the bottom lane. Lee Sin's holding this as best he can. This is a byproduct of his own decision making. Decides to leave it for Jace. Sees the fact that Pantheon's caught out. Stuck in the W of the Echo. Echo's going over the wall. Jhin is ulting. Kha'Zix is going backline onto the Kai'Sa. Getting peeled now. For once getting peeled. But does it matter when Kha'Zix is building the Giga build of dreams? It doesn't. Because he survives. And they can do nothing because they're actually not even ahead anymore. The gold level is equal, but in terms of raw numbers scaling, this Kha'Zix is going to shred and destroy. And you know what? Sir, you had a rough game, but you are doing a good job with the build you have. Well done. Well done. Now from this, the Jace is no longer able to kill the... Nice translation as well. Kill, inhib. Sion doing the back door. We're not making the right plays. We're too far behind. We're outscaled. Our Qs keep missing. Yeah, mechanically we were let down, but the early game was solid. Missed a few things that would have allowed us to snowball the game in a better way. And in the mid game, because we didn't do that, we felt we were behind. We started doing bad tendency things, silver things to try to get back in the game, which denied our own team, put our team in precarious situations by forcing their rotations on our bad decisions. And our team fighting was not really that great because it just wasn't able to do what was necessary. Ra's al Ghul is disappointed in this Batman. That's all I can say here. Now, obviously, with 3 inhibs down, I don't think we should be overcommitting for this, but you can just coin flip the Baron, I guess. I don't think I would. I think I just get farmed. I think I just get really fed. Oh, now he's backline Lee Sin. Now he's backlining Lee Sin. So he goes backline while the rest of his team dies frontline, so that's great. Instead of just disengaging the assassin. Jace TP's in, but they're all squishy. Maokai is not going to be able to do anything. And that'll do it. Well, my friends, what an up and down roller coaster of a game. The Kha'Zix gets back into it with this build. The build actually did work. It is something that can, I mean, obviously it's viable, right? It's just a case of like, I don't want to see people building unless you know what you're doing with it. And he just went backline, like, you can't kill me. You know, you can't kill me. And he was right. Although I don't, you know, there's a lack of Spirit Visage, you know what I mean? More would probably be better, but Spirit Visage if you want to be really obnoxious. Don't do damage then though, so probably more. Okay then, hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something. That was a fun game. A lot of cool stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to think about. Virkayu.gg as your gold course, as your silver course, as your one-on-one coaching. Hope to see you all very soon personally. And as always, I will see you all in the next coaching.